Best part of doing comedy actually is I get to travel doing this, which is great. Last week I was on a flight, I was on the middle seat. A guy walked up on the flight, he didn't have his right arm. I felt bad. Then I was like, I hope he sits next to me. So that I get the armrest. It's not about the arm. I'm not breaking it and taking it. He doesn't have it. He's on the flight. He's gonna sit somewhere. Somebody's gonna get the armrest. Why not me? This is what we call self-love. Self-love is good, right? I'm manifesting. It worked. He sat next to me, but on the aisle side. Don't worry, I didn't let that happen. I was like, sir, I have a bladder issue. Can you take this seat? He agreed. I was like, wow, what a nice guy. That's when I realized if I was the guy who didn't have his right arm, I won't be nice at all. I won't talk to you if you have more arms than me. And if you ask me my seat, I'm going to slap you with my left hand. And I won't even care if you're a celebrity. Even if you're Hrithik Roshan, I'm going to slap you. I'll be like, you come here with 11 fingers. When you know I have 5. Sit on your hand, it's bigger. But he was a nice guy, he gave me a seat. I sat down, I got both the armrests. I was very, very happy. But I couldn't use it because it felt rude to be like... Because I'm used to the fight. Like, we all have done that subtle fight, right, on a flight. I'm used to that. Like a, you know? Nice flight, nice flight. Smoke is coming. Where are you traveling? Mumbai. Oh, this flight is going to Mumbai? Oh. Flight is shaking, there's an earthquake. But in this case, I can't do it. So I wanted him to say, hey, I'm not using it, you can use it. So that I can pretend, be like, hey, why are you not using it? Oh, I'm sorry, thank you very much. If he had a prosthetic arm and keeps it on the armrest, I don't want him to say anything. I'll start the conversation. I'll be like, sir, with all due respect, all the luggage go up. Leave the armrest for the arm. I have the arm. Actually, this is what happened, okay? Those were jokes. Like, the thing that actually happened was he sat next to me, and throughout the flight, I was thinking only one thing. What happened? He didn't tell me without asking. How can I ask? He knows, right? This is not his first time hanging out with someone who has more arms than him. You getting me? But this is my first time. He should enter with a letter at least, be like, yeah, this is what happened. Don't look at me. I'll be like, oh yeah, okay, oh this, oh. You wrote it with left hand? Good handwriting, nice. It's not just that I wanted to know. Everybody wanted to know. The guy who was sitting at the window, every time this guy opened his mouth, that guy removed his headphone. He really wanted to know. Thing that hurt me, every time I opened my mouth, he put the headphone back. Because I have both arms. He doesn't care about my story. Even the air hostess was like, did he tell you? I'm trying. Give me 2 more seconds. Don't disturb. But I'm just sitting next to him thinking about how to ask. And I couldn't ask, so I was just trying to relate to him. Every time air hostess came, gave something, he was taking with left hand. So I was also taking with left hand. Hoping he'll be like, hey, are you lefty? I'll be like, yeah, are you? By choice? No, what happened? I thought that would be mine, but that didn't happen. But suddenly he started talking about stock market because he invested on the flight. Not on that flight. The company of the flight. If it was that, I would be really scared. Because he doesn't care that much. He has less things to lose. We started talking about stock market. He told me his investments, and I told him that I know what stock market is. This is the conversation we are having, and I realized one thing, that he is more successful than me with less arms. So are my arms stopping the success that I deserve? Like, am I using both arms to stop the success? And success can't reach me? If I had one, success would be like, one doesn't work. Just sitting, talking, he started telling me stories, I started telling him my stories. But he's not telling me the story that I want to know. So every story is pissing me off more and more. Who cares about you have a dog? Who cares? I don't care. I want to know what you don't have. That is what I want to know. He's not telling. So I started playing a game in my head, which is pre-accident, which is post-accident. Assuming accident, you can judge me for that. He was talking about college. He said we bunked college for 10 days. We went on a long trip to Ladakh, and I was driving. I'm like, this is pre-accident. Yeah, unless all his friends have only one arm, and he's the best driver among them. He has both arms. Second story, he was talking about his wife, where he used one line in the middle. He was like, "She fell into my arm." This is post-accident. This is definitely post-accident. Nobody says that like that. It is a prepared line. I tried to remind him that I want to know that. I was telling him, like, I bought a bike in college and I loved that bike. It was like part of my body. And somebody stole it. From that day, I felt so incomplete. I have a bike, but it feels like a prosthetic bike. It's just, I don't think any bike can complete me. Third story, though, he confused me a lot. He was like, I increased the profit of my company by 3x single-handedly. Now he's just messing with me, bro. You're doing puns. You know what it is. Now he knows that I'm giving him attention. So he's like, man. That is what he's doing. Didn't tell me. I followed him till the baggage claim. I had no baggage to claim. I wanted to claim that story. He's not giving. We were standing next to the conveyor belt and I had to ask, what is the most dangerous thing that has happened to you? Good question, right? I had to. I had no other option. And immediately I was like, yeah, we went to Kerala for river rafting. Our boat fell from a waterfall and hit the rock. I was like, oh, that's where it happened. Like, what happened? What do you mean, what happened, bro? A rainbow came out. You know what I'm asking. I was like, oh, nothing happened. Then what happened? He was like, nothing happened. We survived. I was like, all of you survived? He's like, yeah, all of us survived. I'm like, no, all of you. Like, you went in 100% and didn't come out 95%? Is that what you're telling me? So his luggage came. So I was like, okay, let me help him. Maybe he'll be like, I don't need help. Some ego thing. Men, you know. I picked it up from the conveyor belt and gave it to him. He's like, hey, no problem, I can do it. I was born like this. That pissed me off so much. I was like, this is your story? This is what you were hiding for 2 hours? I wasted 2 hours on this. I didn't check out air hostesses for this. This is what you're giving me after 2 hours. But you can't say these things. So I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. But yeah, I get it. Some of you laughed, some of you enjoyed the joke, some of you are still looking at me like, you shouldn't be talking about me. Do you know why you're thinking that? Because you can see I have both arms. Don't lie to me now. If I had one arm, you would be like, he can talk about it. My parents are like that. I have been doing this for like 8-9 years and they still can't accept this because every body part is intact in my body. Everything. If I had one body part missing, they would be so supportive. They would be like, yeah, do anything you want. Do anything you can. We are with you. If I didn't have a leg, my parents would be like, yeah, do stand up. Can you sit and do? Then do it. That's how parents are. If you tell them you have a passion to follow, but all your body parts are intact, You have no problems. The first thing they will do is they will look at you and try to find a problem to see what is causing this idea. Just try it. Just go to your parents and be like, hey, I want to be a singer. They'll be like, depression, heartbreak. हमारा बेटा पागल हो गया है. You know what? Get a job in an office event, sing. Classic replies. But imagine if you're blind and you go to your parents, you're like, I want to be a singer. They'll be like, why not? We were already thinking what to do with you. That's a great idea. Just apply an Indian Idol, you're gonna win this. You don't even have to sing. Just go on TV, cry a little bit. Then we go on TV, we cry a little bit. All the votes are yours. That's how winning this. That is just true. Just some of you are still not with me. Okay. You think I'm gonna give up? I'm gonna give you another example. Do you guys remember there was this image? This guy doesn't have arms. So he's painting with his foot. That elephant painting thing, it went viral. Everybody shared it. Oh, what a beautiful painting. What a beautiful image. That image is beautiful. That guy painting with his foot. That painting. All of you shared it because you know he is painting with his foot. If I painted that with my hands, none of you will share it. You will abuse the guy who shared it to you. You will be like, ये painting है. My dog can make better than this. Then your friend would have to be like, no, he's mentally disturbed. You'll be, oh, very nice painting. Let's share it. Make it go viral. This needs love. How does it? Does it hurt that you are hypocrites? Does it? Does it hurt? That image, it went so viral. It reached my parents. They shared it in my family WhatsApp group. Not my video, which is out there. They shared that image. They're like, look at him, how talented he is. Imagine if he had hands. I was like, if he had hands. His parents would have stopped wasting time in painting. Chal, sabji le gaya. And remember, never hold your pencil with your foot. Usme Saraswati. Hold it in your hand. Not left hand, right hand. Left hand is for ass. Right hand is for writing. Remember this. Right hand, right. That's how dumb we have to make it for you. That's the case in everybody's house, right? Right hand is sacred. You have to take money with it. Left hand is for garbage. Just because left hand goes... But all our parents lied to us. They didn't tell us that right hand also goes... If the left hand is handling back end, right hand is handling front end. Both hands are not sacred. You should be taking money like... Oh, that is also not sacred. I don't know which body part is sacred anymore. You're like, put money here. Nobody has touched here. That's why I think if you want to follow your passion and you still want your parents to accept it and support it, you have to put extra effort. Want to be a singer? Poke your eyes. Want to be a magician? Cut one hand. Single-handed magician. Your parents will share your videos like, oh, एक हाथ use कर रहा है. इसको सच में magic आता है. Want to be a fashion designer? I don't know. Be gay. I'm not saying being gay is wrong or anything. But there are parents who think it's something which can be cured. Use it against them. Yeah. Just, you have to use your parents' bigotry against them. That's how you win. Like, if your parents are against that, just be like, I want to be a fashion designer. They'll be like, no. But I'm gay. They'll be like, pick one. Either be a designer or be a gay. You can't have both hands full. You can pick designer, you win. Or gay, whatever your choice is. I'm not denying. Like if your parents are against intercaste marriage or interfaith marriage, right? You don't have to fight anybody. No fight with parents, no relatives, neighbors, sometimes they get involved. You have to fight nobody. Guys, just take that girl home and be like, I want to marry this girl because I'm gay. And she's the only one accepting it. Your parents will be like, let's get you married right now. Wherever you're standing, sit down. मैं पंडित बनता हूँ. आग लेके आओ. Let's do this. That's how my friend got married. Two of my friends, they got married. It's an interfaith marriage. I won't tell you which. I know you guys are like, They got married and right now they're about to have a baby, and this guy said, my in-laws are saying I need to convert because what will our kid be? I was like, your kid can be gay. Then no religion is accepting him. What is the point of thinking religion now? Just raise your kid as gay until he figures out. Like how our parents did. Just me? What? Not you guys? I was raised gay. Every time I hang out with guys, no problem. A girl calls home, they are ready to burn the phone. That is our phone. They are ready to burn it. They wanted me to be gay so bad. Yeah, even my sisters, like my sister, she would hang out with girls in her room, they are kissing, no problem. One guy shows up, they are ready to kill him. That's how progressive my parents were. I was regressive. I was like, no, I will be straight. Yeah, WWE. Every time I watch WWE, female wrestlers, they come, they'll change the channel. They'll be like, remember Rock in underwear. Nobody else you should remember in underwear. Only Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Whole life I was like, Rock! This close to being gay. But I fought it. Don't look at me like this. Just kidding, guys. Come on. You guys can't be looking at me. You guys can't be looking at me like, what? Thank you, guys. That's been my time.